Good morning, everyone. Wanted to give you an update. I'm going to try to update weekly. Can't hold myself to that because I think that was always my intention, but then the morning sickness got really bad. I got really moody. And most of the time I was just sleeping and laying in bed. So what is today? Today is Friday, January 25th, 2019. I am 14 weeks pregnant still, but tomorrow I'll be 15. So tomorrow is officially the start of the 15th week. So I'm kind of updating at the end of the 14th week. So what is that? 3.5 months. So I am officially in the second trimester. Things are getting a little better with the morning sickness. I did have it. I mean, I can't say I had it as rough as, I had it rough for me, and everyone's experience is different. I completely was not prepared. I don't know how you can prepare yourself. Unless you've had a child before, I'm not really sure how you can prepare yourself. And even then, I know that each pregnancy is different. So maybe you had one and you didn't have morning sickness, and then you have another one and you have it. So I don't really know. But I was not prepared to feel the way that I felt because I was feeling ways that I never felt before. And I know that that will continue, that I'll have a lot of feelings that I've never felt before, as this is my first pregnancy. So I'm not ready to claim that the morning sickness is over. My doctor told me it usually starts to get better around 14, 15 weeks. It has gotten better. Gone? No, it's gotten better. So good things. I don't sleep 17 hours a day like I used to try to do before. So I have more energy. I'm not saying I'm, ready to, run a marathon or anything, or I'm all super energetic like that. No, I just have more energy. I went from like no energy, like laying around being a slug, to slightly more energy. Like I'm, as soon as I get home, I don't necessarily need to lay in the bed and just go in a coma after work or whatever until the next morning. So, I can do a little bit more, and so I'm happy about that. I still do get nauseous, and this week, the 14th week, it was better. Some days, it can change throughout the day. So it was better some days, and then I had today is Friday, so Wednesday was actually pretty bad for me. I was really nauseous. That day I did go home and just crawl into bed. I was feeling really bad. I had a headache. I was really nauseous. I wasn't sure if I hadn't eaten enough. I noticed, and I did learn this somewhat during the first trimester, but the first trimester was like, I didn't know what I was doing. It was like, do I eat? Do I not eat? I felt nauseous all the time. And the medication that I was taking, that I showed you guys, I kind of gave up on it a few weeks ago because it had stopped working or wasn't working as well, or maybe some days it worked and then other days it didn't work, and then it made me sleepy also because it is medication that'll make you drowsy. So it was just like I kind of gave up on it, and was just riding out the whole morning sickness, just riding it out. But what I've come to find out is that it's also, for me at least, surrounded by hunger to some extent, not all the time, but if I'm hungry and I wait a while before I eat, it's like baby's like, no, so you didn't eat when I told you to eat, so suffer the consequences. So hunger can turn into nausea. So I believe that is why they say, you should be eating often, not full meals, but, often. Today, for example, I woke up and I was actually very nauseous, which is odd. I'm sorry, not nauseous, very hungry, which is odd because I'm not usually hungry the moment I wake up. So I was very hungry, and I had to eat something. So I ate an apple, but even with that, I delayed it somewhat because, I worked out, I got dressed, came to work, but I had an apple. I scarfed that down, which is helpful. So it's like small meals, a handful of nuts, an apple, some hummus, stuff like that, hummus and pita or hummus and crudité. Not saying that I eat healthy all the time, because I definitely don't. And, sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Really depends on how I feel. I know during the first trimester, I barely ate. And then when I did eat, it was not the healthiest stuff. It was a lot of the most unhealthy things that I could think of, because that's what I wanted. Even yesterday I was craving French fries, McDonald's French fries, by the way. So I don't care what people feel about McDonald's. I wanted McDonald's French fries and ketchup. Unfortunately, I did not get it, but it was just more so because of laziness, and it was raining pretty badly here yesterday, and I didn't feel like going to go get it. But it was more so because of that, and then it had to do with any other reason. So my current symptoms, as I said, I still do get nauseous, and it may come and go throughout the day, but it's not as bad as it was where it was all day. My breasts are really sore, but that's been ongoing. My lower abdomen is sore. I know now that that's, from the growing uterus. And this is something that started with me back ever since I was doing the stimulation shots. I have a runny nose often. So, and I believe when I was doing the stim shots, and then afterwards, well, actually, I guess it started when I was on the progesterone. It is a side effect of the progesterone for me, and it can be a side effect. Not everyone gets that, but now that I haven't been on any progesterone supplements in a while, but I'm still getting the runny nose because, of course, my body is naturally producing it, and the placenta is producing it or whatever for the baby. And so I'm still having the side effect that my nose will be runny, which is kind of embarrassing as it happens throughout the day, especially while I'm at work. So I'm always wiping my nose, but it's winter, so people tend to think you have a cold, which thank God I have not caught cold. Also got the flu shot, which I recommend for any women who are pregnant or trying to conceive. And my doctor made me do it. My OB made me do it, so it wasn't like I had a choice. But most years I get it anyway, and so I would have gotten it anyway. I still get headaches. I ride the subway. Going into work on the morning, it doesn't bother me, but coming home, for some reason, I always get headaches, like motion sickness, and it can affect my evening because it doesn't go away as soon as I get off the train. So that is really annoying. But I get headaches here and there. Gas and indigestion. Sorry, it's my husband calling on the work phone, and I'm not going to answer because I'm recording a video and I don't feel like stopping. So, gas and indigestion. Like I still do have, gas. I usually have gas and pressure, especially in my lower abdomen. You can take Gas X and Tums and all those things, and I've tried, but I don't get the type of relief that I would expect, or maybe I do, but it's not. Maybe this is just what it feels like. Maybe it's always some pressure. I don't really know. Indigestion. So I'm sorry, I'm looking down at a list because I wrote these down so I wouldn't forget. Indigestion. So I always actually, prior to trying to conceive and getting pregnant, I actually did suffer from GERD, or acid reflux disease. So I used to be on Nexium a few years back, and I was successfully able to get off of Nexium, but it doesn't mean that the issue is gone. And so I think I may be more prone to indigestion. So I do get indigestion and heartburn quite a bit, and this is early on, right? And I've been getting it throughout the entire time thus far. This is definitely not a new symptom. I also get the hiccups more. So I don't know. Maybe that's just a me thing. I don't know if that's a symptom or not, but I have noticed it happens a lot. It might just be like one big hiccup, or but it happens almost every day. And one of the last symptoms that I hadn't really talked about, because I didn't really know that this was going on, is this metallic taste in my mouth. And you may say, how do you not know? I didn't really know that's what this taste was. Like, I hadn't identified it, but I knew I had this weird taste in my mouth. And as I looked things up, I realized that apparently, pregnant women get, not everyone, of course, not everyone gets anything, but get a metallic taste in their mouth. And so it dawned on me. I was like, so that's what this is. And so I hadn't really been talking about it. I've always been trying to like put something in my mouth to get rid of the taste, or mouthwash or candy or something, but it always comes back. Like it comes back. I don't know when any of this stops, whether this is like it's going to be here until the end of the pregnancy, but it's more manageable now. It's definitely not what I want it to be, because at the end of the day, it still does take a lot of my life. Like I don't I'm supposed to have dinner plans this evening, and I'm thinking, well, let's play it by ear. Let's see how I feel. Like, I don't want to commit to the plans right now until I know more of how I feel and how I'm going to feel. Because although I do have more energy and I'm not as nauseous, and I kind of still just want to be home. But that just might be me, because I'm a bit of a homebody anyway. So like I said, I'm at the end of 14 weeks right now. I'm starting to show a little bit. I think, very little. My husband says he doesn't see it. The few people I have told at work who see me daily said that they have not seen it. They don't see a difference, but I see it. More importantly, I feel it, but I do see it a little bit. Like today is Friday, I'm wearing jeans, and I could feel like, the pooch area is like more. I'm like, okay, I didn't have that. And I'm like, I know I didn't have that. And so, at least I don't think I had that before. So I can, or maybe I was able to suck it in or something before, but my jeans used to be flatter in the front, or flat in the front, and now it's not. But I don't really like to wear jeans or pants, honestly. I never really did, and I definitely don't like to wear jeans so much now, because the band of the waist or whatever tends to be right on, my lower abdomen, and it causes more pressure. But I have a few pairs of good jeans that are really, really stretchy. And so it doesn't really bother me. I may be able to wear these the entire time if I need to, but because they're really stretchy, they also kind of just sit on it, and it's just, they don't add any pressure, but I think they also do nothing to help smooth anything out if there is something there. So there is that. So I'm hoping. I know eventually I will start to show, but I'm just trying to delay it, because again, I'm trying to keep this a secret as much as possible. Of course, if anyone who knows me watches the videos, is secrets out. But if you don't, then I'm trying to keep it a secret as long as possible, at least at work. So I feel like it's only 3.5 months. I don't have to say anything yet to people at work. I have told HR. They've actually known for a couple of weeks now, but my immediate supervisor, manager, what have you, I don't have to tell them. My HR representative actually told me that I don't have to tell them until about a month before I go out on leave. So it put me in June, but I don't plan to wait that long. I just don't know how long I want to wait, and I want that to be my decision, and not people kind of whispering behind me, like behind my back, like I was when my coworker was pregnant. I was kind of looking at her with the side eye, like, is that girl pregnant? Like a month before she announced it, because she was showing very early in her pregnancy. By the time she was 4 months, I thought she had been pregnant for a while, and so I'm not showing as much, but I think at least I'm more self-conscious about it. And it's nothing wrong. Everyone shows differently, because it depends on your body and the way the baby is and all of this. And so who knows how this is going to end up working out. But as long as I can hide it for work purposes, is really, they can't do anything. I just don't want to talk about it. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, I don't want to talk about it with people that I don't want to talk about it with yet. So that's just where I am. I'm still exercising. I've been thankful the last 2 weeks, this week and last week, to be able to exercise 6 days a week. So today was the 6th day. I am taking tomorrow off, so I'm taking Saturdays off. I try to exercise every other day of the week. I know there's that old thought that pregnant women shouldn't exercise and that you're eating for two. I mean, you're not really eating for two. I mean, if you're having twins, then maybe you can legitimately eat for two. But if you're just having one baby, you're not really eating for two. You're only supposed to have, I think, roughly 300 calories more in a day, and that's really not much, to be honest with you. And so I'm trying to be mindful of that. I don't want to overdo it. I don't want to underdo it either, but I'm trying to still be healthy because I already, as I've disclosed with you and been pretty consistent with telling you, I already have, despite all the working out and trying to be somewhat healthy, I already have blood pressure issues, and that could become an issue during this pregnancy, and my doctor's already monitoring me for that. So the last thing I need to do, I need to add any other you're gaining too much weight or any other issues that I can hopefully avoid. So I am trying to stay as active as possible throughout the pregnancy for as long as I can. I got off track quite a bit. Well, first of all, I completely stopped during the stimulation period, and then when I was cleared, I went back to it, and then morning sickness hit me like a ton of bricks, and then I kind of got out of it again because I was just like, I don't know what to do. My whole life was turned upside down, but I pushed through most days, but maybe I was doing 4 to 5 days a week then when I could, just because laying around really doesn't help. And then, I mean, as long as your doctor clears you. If your doctor hasn't cleared you, please don't do anything. And then now at this point, my doctor told me, she said, no, you have no exercise restrictions. She said, you can work out as much as you were working out before and to the same intensity level. So, I'm trying. I mean, I don't think I've gotten up necessarily to the same intensity, but I'm definitely trying to do something almost every day. So, and on the 7th day, I rest. And what I mean rest is I don't even go for a walk most of the time. I might stay in the house the entire Saturday or just hang around, but no, I mean, it's Sunday through Friday are my days. And so, I'm trying to still stay active, and there are benefits to working out during pregnancy, especially doing squats and keeping your legs and your core strong, because from my understanding, those are a lot of the muscles that you use when you are giving birth. And if you plan to take the weight off after you have the baby, it's also easier if you did do something while you were pregnant. So but it's not easy if you weren't used to working out before. It may really be hard to start now during pregnancy, but even just going for a walk, I'm used to it. It's just something that I've incorporated into my life for the last several years. I don't know, maybe, I don't want to say like maybe the last 7-8 years has been a big part of my life to exercise, at least 6 days a week. Sometimes it was 7 days a week. So even if I wasn't always eating healthy, I felt somewhat better about myself, because I was like, well, at least I'm out here exercising. So there's that. So also the increased hunger. So I am, at a point where I do have more of an appetite. My first trimester, I did not gain any weight. I do not foresee that for the second trimester. My doctor said, and I may have said this before, that on average women gain between 25 and 35 pounds, that you do not need to gain that much. And some women gain more. So she was just saying, as long as the baby is growing, right now everything looks to be on track with the baby. So, and I pray it continues that way. So she says, as long as the baby is growing and everything seems fine. Otherwise, I do not have to gain a ton of weight. However, during the first trimester, I was super nauseous and I did not eat a lot. This trimester, I am definitely a lot hungrier. And this trimester just started, and I'm already, I can already, like I said, I woke up this morning starving. So I do have this increased hunger, but when that happens, it's just good to have little things around. Like I have rice cakes and peanut butter. I kind of OD on that sometimes with the peanut butter, because the peanut butter I use is definitely not the healthy peanut butter. It is like Skippy and Jif and stuff. It is not it's natural Skippy, natural Jif, but it's still sugar and sodium and whatever else they put in it. I'm definitely not the plain no sugar added, just oil stuff, because I'm like, why would I eat that even though it is healthy? But, I'll do, rice cakes and peanut butters. I have fruit cups. I have apples. Oatmeal, nuts, cheese sticks because I need to try to get my calcium up. So there's just those different things like that. And overall, that's just where I am now. I'm not, before I got pregnant, I really was thinking, oh, I'm going to, measure my belly and do all these things. I have so not gotten into that zone yet. Nothing wrong for people who have. I just thought I'd be more like in love with the process, and morning sickness made me kind of hate the process, to be honest with you. And feeling the way that I felt just kind of made me hate the process. I mean, I'm just being honest. And so I have not been into any of the cutesy stuff. I'm not taking pictures every week to show, where my belly has grown or measuring it. I'm just kind of just trying to live. Maybe I'll get to that point. I'd like to, because it's cute, right? But I mean, that's just not who I am right now. And before I had the reality of what it would be like, at least for me, I was just like, oh, I'm going to do this. And, I was actually going to go vegan for pregnancy. I was like, oh, when I'm pregnant, I'll be vegan. Yeah, that didn't happen. Even though most days, not by planning, I may not eat meat. So maybe I kind of went vegetarian, but not even that, because I'll get a burger in a minute. It's just some days I just happen not to eat meat that day, but it's definitely not planned, I mean, the last night for dinner, I had extra cheese pizza, and a salad. But I hadn't had any meat that day. So that's what I'm saying as an example of, my fake vegetarianism. But I'm definitely not. I mean, I'll eat meat, and I love meat. I just was saying, oh, for this pregnancy, I will, read every label and be vegan and do all these things that just once hormones and morning sickness and everything got a hold of me, it was just like, leave me alone, get out of here, and this is real life and not what I expected. And I don't knock anyone who do it, because I know there's plenty of moms out there who are able to do all that, and granola and veganism and everything organic, and that's amazing. And I've seen plenty of pictures of women who measure their belly every week or every day or whatever to see where it's grown, and they have pictures, and it'll be great for the baby book, I guess, if the baby looks at it or something one day. I have not started a baby book yet. I will, I think. I'm just trying to live right now. So I know maybe I'm being bad. I don't know. But this is uncharted territory for me. I had a plan in mind. But, the old saying, man plans, God laughs. And it has been true since I started this process. It has not, if you watch my other videos, this process has not gone the way I anticipated, And not only did it not go the way I anticipated, it was super quick for me. And, I started in October, and by the end of October, I had my transfer, and found out 2 weeks later I was pregnant. So I really, this was quick. I mean, I know when I went that was a possibility, and I know that's what I wanted, but I'm just saying it happened very quickly, and so I was blessed. So I'm not knocking that. I'm just saying that, I went from that very quickly, and then a few weeks later, the morning sickness started, and so I'm just really just trying to get my bearings, and maybe feel like a human being for a little while, hopefully, before the belly really takes over, and I can't, I go back to feeling like, because right now I feel the closest as I record this, so like this moment, I feel the closest as I do to being myself as I had in a while. But I don't know if the next moment I might not, but like right now I do. So I'm just trying to enjoy those moments and go from there. I'm sorry, I know maybe I'm not doing it right. I don't know. I guess there's lots of ways to do it, and this is how I'm doing it right now. Not how I anticipated to do it, but it's how I'm doing it. So if you have any on thoughts, or if I know there's some women who are also in the same place or close to the same place in their pregnancy as I am, I mean, I'd love to hear like how things are going for other people. And, I'm kind of overwhelmed. I've been looking at, I just did a baby registry. It has nothing on it. I just set it up. And I've been looking at, list of things you need for the babies, and I'm just like, for a baby, and I'm just like, oh my God, I don't even know what I need. And I'm like, can I find a list that tells me everything I need? I mean, I know I need, diapers and onesies and cribs and stuff like that, but like, there's little things that you need. Like, I mean, maybe a breast pump or something, or I don't even know. And this is something I don't think I've ever shared. I don't even know if I would be able to breastfeed. I mean, if I am able to, I would like to. And I know some women who are physically able to can't, because it doesn't work out with the baby, or different things can go wrong. The baby might not do it. But I had a breast reduction in 2010, and so I don't even know. I mean, it was 9 years ago. Oh, well, not quite, but almost. I mean, it's 2019, but I had mine in December of 2010. But I don't know if my breast can do it now. Like, they're definitely swelling and gotten larger, so I know something in there is working, but I don't know if everything. I mean, the type of breast reduction I had, they did a lot of cutting, so I don't know if they even put things back right. I mean, on the outside it looks right, but on the inside, is it right? So I don't even know if I can breastfeed. So that's something I need to, we'll figure out, I guess. I'd like to. I was breastfed, and I'd like to do it, and I know it's a lot of benefits. But if I can't, in 2010, I really wasn't thinking about it. So, but yeah, so just a lot of things to think about. I'm actually more overwhelmed than anything with all the things you're supposed to get for a baby that I have absolutely nothing. My first purchase, I made my first pregnancy purchase this week, or actually it was last week, but I just got it because I ordered it from Amazon, and it was a maternity pillow because I was starting to feel a little uncomfortable, like I said, sleeping, especially laying on my back. I know you're not really supposed to lay on your back or something like that. I was getting like pressure in my abdomen, my lower abdomen. So, but even laying on the side, I would get, I toss and turn a lot. So it's not as restful of a sleep as it has been. So, I bought a maternity pillow. And honestly, I don't know. I mean, the jury's still out. I've had it for 2 nights now. I don't know what it's about. It's a U-shaped one. I didn't invest in the most expensive one because I wasn't really sure. So I got like a middle of the road, kind of more a cheaper one. But I don't really know. I mean, kind of is like having 2 body pillows in a way, like one in the front, one in the back to some extent. But I'm not really like I don't know. I guess it's nice pillows, but I'm not really sure what it's supposed to do. Maybe once my stomach is bigger, I can like rest it on it or something. I don't know. But anyway, that was my first purchase, my first maternity purchase, and I have not yet purchased anything else. So, and I know there's a lot of things to get. But like I said, I don't even know where to, I need a list of everything I'm supposed to have, at least to start. So yeah. So anyway, I will try to update again, in 15 weeks. And, don't be a stranger. Comment, and let me know your thoughts. Talk to you soon. Enjoy your weekend.